I'm Erin Zozel.
And I'm Drew Coleman.
Welcome to Zo Conversations.
Our show about being real estate partners, local business owners, and friends.
Let's get into it.
Let's do this.
Okay, well, welcome to our fourth podcast for Zo Conversations. We had a guest last week.
We sure did.
And Todd Pearsall from Filament, which
Yep.
was amazing. And today we've decided to bring in our good friends and big names in the community. I mean, they're a big deal in my mind. Just ask that. They'll tell
They
you.
need no introduction.
Yes, they need no introduction. But go ahead, introduce yourself.
Thank you very much for that great and
Wasn't that so smooth? Just
such great friends. She doesn't know my name.
yeah.
Okay, I'll introduce.
Thank you. Tommy here, Tommy Begno at Mr. Paul's Supper Club. And we're shooting live here in our private dining area. Yeah, I've got some rosé to pour here short.
Yes.
Yes.
As soon as everybody's ready. And then my beautiful wife, Carrie.
Hello, everybody.
Last name, but it's coming.
I mean, I did legally. I just don't have the time to change all the paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a big. Because it's been a year, right? You've been not quite a year. We got married in September. Okay.
So I have time for thank you cards.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
Mine's
did-
in the mail.
Yeah. I have 3 months. Ours is because I haven't done them yet. Really? Because it's terrible. You do get a year to send thank you.
Yes, and I am going to use every
You get a year to send a gift as well.
last bit of
Oh.
that year.
That's right. So I still have time to get you a gift, is what you're trying to say.
You just don't, because I don't have the time to write you the thank
Oh.
you card. Just
Okay.
buy me a glass of wine.
Let's pretend I gave you a gift and that you gave me a thank you card. Great.
Wow, that was easy.
I love
They're like what they're giving us.
I know. So Tommy is the chef here at Mr. Paul's, and we have been coming here. We've been here a few times. And yeah, we've been here just a couple times.
From what I remember, yeah.
We have been told we have been here a few
Yeah.
times. So
I had my birthday party here last year.
Yes. That was
And that was really fun.
yeah, it got a little wild.
Yeah. So we wanted to treat everybody to a night at Mr. Paul's for our birthday, instead of because it's actually a more common, in other cultures, that when it's your birthday, you throw the party for everybody else.
Yes.
Instead of being everyone taking you to dinner and you're just, taking your dinner and dividing it between 16 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But a big part of this is the we is you and your husband have
Yeah.
the same
Same
birthday.
birthday.
Right. So double party. I know.
So we wanted to go
Double
all out, and yeah, it was very fun. It was very fun.
same birthday.
Same birthday.
How long did that take to find it?
30 seconds. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And then it was well, I guess this is it.
But then they tied in.
Got married on the same day.
Oh, I'm a little that.
So now it's a threefer. Now it's a threefer.
I know.
Yeah.
The love.
And it just so happens to be Christmas, so
Yeah. So
all the holidays.
it's a fourfer.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, it's just a couple things that I think that. So you guys designed this. Okay, so Courtney Bryden is also one of the owners here. She's not here today. We call her Coco. So if you see hot cocoa in here,
Yeah.
hot cocoa.
I love that.
Did we just come up with another name?
You're on fire.
Courtney.
Yeah, she's not here today.
Yeah, but she's.
We will let her listen to it if we don't dive down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Courtney and I are like brother and sister, and we fight like brother and sister sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Little
also
Trinidad.
Yep. You're the one making
getting the most damaged in the meantime.
Yep. Well, it's resilient. You're very resilient, right? So
Yes, we designed this place with Aaron Whitcamper. I know you know him. Whitcamper Designs. And he was wonderful to work with. And we opened in December of 21.
and you guys really have had a hard time getting people in.
It has been, unfortunately,
It's really tricky.
we've been super fortunate. I mean, we started this project just about 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years in September, so it's that first 6 months was crazy. I mean, you guys are both business owners. You know,
Yeah.
it's a leap of faith, and I had some other opportunities, and Carrie was happily a stay-at-home mom, and to try and convince her to come out of the house and help out, it was, I can give you 10 or 15 hours a week. Now it's 50 to 60 hours a week. she's still trying to claw back at that.
Yeah.
Let's call it 30. We dove in head first. Pete Dinovic, the developer here, contacted me right when COVID hit and Butcher and the Boar downtown. I had been there 6 years and was like, hey, man, I want you to do something over here. Kind of like Butcher and the Boar, but more like Bunnies in St. Louis Park.
That's a combo.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm in.
Yeah.
No, we were like,
all.
absolutely not.
I said, I can't do Bunnies better than Bunnies can do.
Yeah, Bunnies has got that.
Yeah.
That
And
market
so I
there.
said, why don't I pitch on a concept that we've been working on in my head? And Carrie and I were looking at some spaces that were about the size of this dining area. We were thinking 40 or 50 seats.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
It was this giant spot.
The giant cement block. I mean, there was nothing over here. There was no color, no texture, no pattern. It was just all cement and
Yeah.
an open expanse. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
So
And we were like, absolutely not. We can't do this.
just trying to bring it from the vision board to life was,
Yeah.
well, how the fuck are we going to do
Yeah.
this? What are we doing?
That's the
We
appropriate
negotiated with
response.
Pete, and we got a good chunk of change up front to help us with the build out. And we're like, maybe we could make this happen. And I wrote a 84-page business plan with all these projections and this and that, which obviously
Yep.
anybody that's written a business,
Oh, yeah.
you do all the time and all that, and then you throw it out the door after the bank finances you, and you say,
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is also
Literally is.
Yeah. We can.
It's a
Yeah.
crapshoot. You're trying
And the
to say.
bakers know you do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're,
Well, now they do.
we're guesstimating.
Yeah.
You've told everyone the trick.
But they also need to know that you've done your work. So yeah, we had projected doing about half of what we did in year one. We hired Aaron, who was fantastic to work with. We met with him, met with a couple of people, but Aaron was pushed our way through Pete because they were working on a project on the other side of town, and we came to Aaron with a vision board that Carrie had come up with. That was literally tag board or phone board with a bunch of pictures she had pulled off the internet. And some pictures of my grandfather's house, who is Mr. Paul, and my dad's artwork, and this and that. And she brought him, and we had an interview with Aaron, or kind of interviewed him, and told him a little bit about the vision. We want the spirit of New Orleans. We want it to be authentic. We don't want it to be Rainforest fucking Cafe.
Can't be themey. Can't feel like a theme. It's inspired.
So New Orleans, how does that connect? That like
So my grandfather's from Lafayette, Louisiana, but he always had a place in New Orleans. And then as kids, we'd go down there every year. Normally in just the worst time of the year, July, like we all played ball. I grew up with 4 brothers, so it was kind of a reprieve for my folks. We'd all pile in literally a Volkswagen Vanagon, like the Partridge Family, and drive down there. We'd pee in a coffee can the whole way because my dad didn't want to pull over and stop because we pull over at a gas station. That means the kids are going to want a snack or no. Power through, drive 22 hours straight. And we'd get there and my folks would just kind of, here you go, here's the family, have fun. And then they could hang out with our other relatives and my grandfather and this and that.
and he is Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul, he was larger than life. He was my inspiration to cooking.
Yeah.
I was in construction prior to cooking, golf course construction. And, when we sold that business, it was a family-owned business. I was like, what am I going to do? And I wanted to open a bar because I loved hanging out in bars.
Yeah.
And I
Still do.
Yeah.
I had a number of family members that were in the bar business, and they're like, you don't know the first thing about running a bar. Go back to school, get a business degree. And I said, well, why don't I go back to culinary school and get a food management degree? And, well, that'll work. And I got out of that. I said, there's no way I want to open a bar. I want to be a chef
Yeah.
because I enjoyed that aspect of it more than running a business. Now I still enjoy that more, but my time is split probably 70% to trying to work on the business, 30% working in the business.
Yeah.
But to circle back on the Aaron, so Carrie brought this vision board, and Aaron knew kind of conceptually what it was. Aaron brought his own vision boards, and probably 80% of what she had on her board, Aaron had on his.
It was
And we
wild. I didn't meet with anybody else. It was wild. It was like almost, it was creepy.
Yeah.
And like it felt just like, how did that happen?
He's been in your house.
Right.
That's how that happened.
Hey, you in the bushes.
Yeah.
Like, in the world.
My vision board created.
Unless goosebumps and like, okay, that was really, really bizarre. So that's how we brought it to life.
So do you have a design background?
No.
This is just
Yep.
everything you love, pretty much. Like, it's remarkable.
Yeah. I remember just like hearing about it and being like, I think it was my mom actually, because my parents live in Hayward, Wisconsin. Lots of supper clubs up there, you know? And so she's like, you're getting a supper club in your neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Sure are.
Like, I don't know. It's 50th in France. I just read, she found it somewhere. And yeah, and then I looked into it and I was like, oh, but like with New Orleans, this is going to be I've never heard of such a thing. Like, this is going to be very interesting. I can't wait to go there. And then come to find out, like, we like it here.
Yeah, we like it here. That's a good thing to say. And someone had told me you're going to love this. Before you guys came in, I don't know where this started from, but someone was talking about you guys coming in. And I'm like, what's it like? And they said, it's kind of like a Bubba Gump. True story. I'm like, Bubba Gump.
You mean like
They're
the
like-
ones at the airport?
Yeah. And then I don't
God, I wish.
Yeah. That's next. And Bubba Gump is lovely, but I was just like, huh.
Yeah, nothing.
So I think we just saw like the like something's how this got going. I'm like, it's a little different.
That's not last very long. Good luck to them here.
Well, it is a strange mashup. And I think what we were saying originally was the hospitality of a Midwestern supper club
Yeah.
meets the fun, lively environment of New Orleans.
Yeah, classics. I mean, the relish tray and the popovers and
Don't
the
get
steaks and chops. And Lindsay loves
The relish,
relish tray.
She can't get enough of that.
And he loves supper clubs. And someone was like, well, how do you bring that Midwestern thing with the kind of flair and color and pattern and texture that we kind of really love about New Orleans and traveling in general? Yeah. We just don't get a lot of in Minnesota.
Sure. I know it's nice. It's so nice to have something different and unique in the area. I think in the community, you can tell everyone's just loves it.
We were getting bored with restaurants. I mean, before the shutdown, it was like, you go in and the food is great, the service is lovely, but it just sometimes it was like looking around just left a little bit to be desired for us because we like weird stuff and art and plants.
Like the two of you.
Like us.
It was sweet.
Oh, that's too.
And now what do we get voted? One of the best party restaurants and
We were voted best party restaurant.
Really?
Speaking of, can you flop that?
Oh, us.
Like that segue?
Pop the bottle.
Thank you. Yeah. This is what we do best over here. Yes.
There was a lot of that on my birthday.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember going, can I just quick peek at the tab, please?
Yeah.
And she showed it to me and I was like, all right, we're out of here.
Yeah, just everybody. You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You heard that before?
I have. That's actually
Radio. I have not
where that was.
Thank you.
Look at this. And so the artwork back here, what's the story with that?
So a lot of that was from my grandfather's collection, actually. He was, my grandfather, like I said, larger than life, huge personality, always threw a party, like every day of the year, it seemed like.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Exactly. He just loved entertaining, and it was always, open door policy. Yeah. He had, couples from France stay with him, and they'd show up on a Tuesday unannounced, and then he'd have friends from New Orleans or friends from New York City. It was always something.
He'd meet someone at the market and be like,
Come on,
come stay. And they would stay. Yeah.
He had a collection of probably 600 paintings at one point.
He bought an old bank, and the ceilings were how tall? And then
25-foot ceilings,
converted it into a home, and there was art on every
square inch.
Wow.
cheers
To grandpa.
to Mr.
Great to Mr. Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers.
Enough clanking.
Sorry, Lindsay.
These mics pick up everything.
Yeah, these like follow the mic. Just
Also
get right in there. ASMR.
But bubbles on a Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, that's nice. As Brian would say, those tight bubbles.
Tight bubbles.
I mean, Riley's like, what does that even mean? I know what it means, but he's.
Really small, really like, instead
I
of,
feel like he says it every time though. Like,
I know, he does.
you can't say it every time.
I know, right? Because then,
Yeah. Right, because then it really loses its impact.
Yes.
Right.
yeah.
But he's going to be on our next podcast.
Oh, that's lovely. Very fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna try it.
Look out, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
We'll see what happens.
it's a man about town. So the other day, you'll get a kick out of this. So we were going downtown, and you've seen him pour wine.
Yes.
How like he takes the bottle and then he like goes
Completely
super
inverts it.
fast, and then like that's like he said that's the way you're supposed to be pouring it, not like this. But how do you even explain it?
He thinks you have to aerate it.
Literally, he dumps it completely upside down. It
Like-
goes glug, 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 glug.
And then pulls it back. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Does it spill everywhere?
no, that's
Somehow no.
part.
Somehow no.
I know.
I've seen people when they decant wine, they'll spin it
Yeah.
and get that vortex going, and it's supposed to aerate it as it drops into a decanter. But in a glass, is he using like a huge chalice?
Oh no. Where is it?
Should be
Oh,
though.
it just a good old.
Just right down the throat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Maybe that's where he gets the practice from.
yeah, yeah. They probably
Love you, Brian.
I know, but we love you, Brian. And yeah, so it'd be nice for everybody to meet him. You got to draw we have to draw this out a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm ready yet.
Here's the teasers.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, this is the teaser. I know. So as far as like let's talk cocktails.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So again, some of the best cocktails around. Who does the cocktails? Like, who are these things that you would think of? Did you have a beverage director that you worked?
Yeah, so we have a small minority partner who is an old friend of mine, Nick Kosovich. He and I ran a restaurant 16 years ago, the Town Talk Diner on East Lake Street. And it was kind of
Yep.
it was the birthplace of the craft cocktail movement here in Minneapolis.
I didn't realize that.
And Ted was our bar manager there. And, we had a ton of talent that worked there that have all went on, Earl Giles Distilling and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tattersall and all these places. It was kind of a breeding ground for a lot of these. Pip Hansen, who's at O'Shaughnessy Distillery, and all these guys we all worked together. So Nick, anyways, when we were talking about the concept, Nick had run a company out in Milwaukee called Bitter Cube Bitters, really successful. He started it out of the trunk of his car and then ended up being, they were selling, I want to say it was 2 million units a year when he sold his partnership to
crazy.
his business partner. But it's a weird business, bitters. You use it by the drop and you try.
Right.
I think Nick was the idea of moving on from the bitters company and getting into something back into the restaurants was really exciting for him because it's a lot of work to sell a drop of bitters.
Yeah.
And then you get what people use it
Yeah.
often so that they repurchase. So getting back into this, and he had done a lot of consulting all over the nation, opening 60, 70 bars, I think.
Wow.
But he had strong ties to New Orleans, so it was obvious when we had come up with the concept, but we were pretty much had the bank on board and hired a contractor. And,
Yeah.
well, let's talk to Nick and see if he wants to help us out.
During COVID, and we invited him and his wife over to have a bonfire.
Yeah, COVID.
Sit outside and blankets and have drinks and try to convince him that he should come be the beverage director and come aboard. And he agreed.
Yeah, and it started as, you want to help us design the first menu?
Yeah.
And then obviously he perked up. Well, let's talk about a partnership and let's see how we can make this thing really awesome. And Minneapolis, St. Paul Magazine, just the Reader's Poll came out last week and #1 cocktails in the state.
Wow.
Best bar and best cocktails. So
I'm sure my mom will tell me about
we have a supper club,
And Best Supper Club.
which
Well, his mom let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find out about that soon.
Thanks, Joan.
And we have a great bar staff. Our bar manager is Ainsley Jones, and he had the doggery down in Rochester. He's very talented. And a couple other great, the bar team here is top notch.
How do they remember? Like, I feel like that's also part of this. Like Drew and I always say, like whenever we come in here, it's like everyone. It's like your neighborhood bar. You know what I mean? Like all the bartenders and the staff and everything. It's just like hugs and how's it going to? I mean, it's just like so like warm and inviting. Like, what is the trick with them remembering all these names? It's pretty remarkable. They know like every person that comes in here.
Very low turnover. We haven't lost one bartender. I mean, we fired one early on.
Let's talk about that.
We have a lot of
some really good
professional career
Yeah.
bartenders.
And like families that work here.
Oh yeah,
I think that's like the coolest of all, like the brother and sisters that like work here.
we collect families here. We really like that.
Works. Hopefully, they never want a family vacation.
Right.
I mean,
And I mean,
Gets a little tricky.
this isn't gonna work.
I could step in.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked at a restaurant like
Oh yes.
server job
Oh yes.
What?
Many.
or bartending?
Many.
Where did you work?
I worked at the Hyatt. I worked at a Hyatt hotel in the bar serving drinks. I worked in bars of Chicago behind the bar. And my first bar job ever, I was a bar back at Rosen's downtown. Back when it would like turn into a nightclub at 9, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And my shift always started at 9. So I was just like,
Bet you learned a lot.
oh, a lot. I would say my first like busy night there is the only time that I almost broke down crying at a job in the middle of the like in the middle. It's like 19 years old, and I just couldn't keep up. It was just like my first because that's how you learn how to be a bar back in a high volume bar. You kind of just have to get annihilated, and then you realize like, how am I going to be more organized next time to not let that happen? But the glasses were just like piling up.
How do I not get yelled at by these bartenders?
Oh, I got yelled at by everybody that night. Like they were like, empty bottles. Like, come on, what the fuck are you like? And I was like, and yeah, a server had to come. Yeah. Oh, a server had to come off the floor and like help me get caught up, and that's the only way that I got caught up. But I got the hang of it, and I mean, I loved that job. I loved working in bars. Like it was. I mean, it's a different lifestyle. Like in Chicago, it was like high volume kind of party bars, and it's a different lifestyle. And it was a kind of a short blip on the screen, but it was fun.
Our 16-year-old is a bar back here.
Yeah,
He's been doing it for maybe not quite a year.
he's great.
And then your son Griffin just started at Coalition. Who
Yeah.
I saw on his first day.
know.
And he was so cute. He was doing stuff.
I love that you sent me a picture. I'm just like, look, and he's like,
He's leaning in the corner just like Axel does already over there. Axel's teaching him how to lean properly. Well,
Lean it like this, so that way you can see the hole.
right. That's good.
This is a good corner to lean in.
Well, he had his second shift yesterday to train in, to train in, and the trainer didn't show up. And so he's just like, so he's just him and the bartender. He's like, I'm like, she was like, the bartender Kaya was so cute because she's like, he was great. He just found stuff to do, and he was just going. I'm like,
Typical Griff.
yeah.
Just
How you learn.
figures it out.
Throw him into it.
that's how you
See
do
what
it.
happens.
So do you have what are your favorite restaurants right now? Drew and I are doing a restaurant tour of some different places.
Yeah, where should we go?
Yeah, where should we?
Where should our
We dined at All Saints on Thursday.
Yeah,
It was fantastic.
yeah.
My God.
Great friend of mine, another one of the ex-Town Talk employees, Kim Tong. But it was it was perfect.
Perfect.
We had way too much food. I think we counted 9 plates we had.
They kept sending things out. Yeah.
Started with 3, and then Michelle sent 2 more, and then they sent 2 more, and then Kim got upset because we didn't get into the entrees because she had some queued up. But it was like I was Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
full.
sounds like it.
Which is always fun.
I think they get it. It is, isn't it?
We just don't go out we try to go out, but it's really hard to like say, okay, on our night off without the kids, without the restaurant, we're going to go and eat at a restaurant because it's like, it's loud and it's busy and it's what we do all the time. But the more we do it, we're like, oh, this is great. And then Wakai Bistro was the last name.
Guy was great.
So if we could get your top 5 recommendations.
Top 5 recommendations.
So All Saints. What was the one you just?
Wakaya Bistro.
Okay.
Great. It's new. It's down across from the Ewing.
Okay.
Oh, I have seen that.
Their bar is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Good.
it's really good.
It's the chef's from New Orleans.
Cool.
Well, from Panama, and then grew up in New Orleans and he's here.
Okay. So
But he is fantastic.
we got it.
Playa Grasa, obviously.
PS Steak, the last 2 times I ate at PS Steak, I walked out of there and was like, this is why we do what we do. It's because I walked out just feeling like fulfilled, and I forgot about the world for a little bit, forgot about my problems, enjoyed my time with my friends, and just kind of like let it all fall away and just felt really like taken care of and special. And I was like, okay. And you're kind of renewed. Like, I left Ken Tom's the other night. It's like you feel re-inspired to go back to work, to continue to like give guests an experience that is special. And it kind of renews you in a way when it's good. So PS Steak has done that for me twice in the last year.
Cheese over in St. Paul. It's Tim Niver's Little Red Sauce, pizza, pasta. It's fantastic. If you haven't been there, Tim Niver is kind of I would say the biggest name in town as far as this hospitalitarian. He is that guy. He was Marcus Samuelson's general manager when Aquavie was here in the IDS. He's so polished. New York, and then out in Vegas, he ran food and beverage at the Bellagio, and he was the owner of the Town Talk Diner, the strip club. Saint Dinette is another one of his restaurants.
So many of these.
He is that guy that we model kind of what we want to do with service is, and Tim used to say, jokingly, like, I want you guys to make love to every guest. Like, make love to these guests.
Yeah.
It's more than just sex. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
we want to have a connection.
We feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an in and out kind of thing.
No.
We're having a moment.
And when you see Tim, and he still works the floor a few days a week at his restaurants, serving tables, it's just you understand it immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so good.
And then late night spot, little teas.
Little dishes and Frenchman's. Gotta get.
I did go to Frenchman's for the first time with these two.
Okay, when was that?
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Won $500 on pull tabs.
Wow.
So that was amazing.
Okay.
And they had the best cheeseburger.
They have a great cheeseburger.
And so Tommy was bragging about this, and we're like, we gotta check this out. And yeah, Charlie might have
$6 cheeseburger. And it's almost like if you were to take that double wide trailer that you're drinking in, and move it to Hayward, Wisconsin, you'd be right at home.
Okay.
Get full control of the jukebox, which is so fun. What you love.
I do
And
love
you
the
just
jukebox.
You and the jukebox.
Just go for it. It's great.
The whole.
Do you guys remember? Is Hercules still in Uptown?
I don't think
no.
so. No.
Because they had the best jukebox back in the day, and I would just like,
Good one.
shuffleboard.
We got there one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jukebox. It was great.
I wish we had Rome here for a shuffleboard. I do love that game.
It is a fun one.
Really fun.
I'm gonna bring it back. Yeah. So do you think you'll open up another? Not Mr. Paul's. Another.
Working on,
Another project. Now
we got another project here in Edina.
Oh, you said not another Mr. Long. So gotcha. You said another project might be in the works.
Slow and steady, and it's coming. It's just, and we're in no hurry right now because summer is now here.
Yeah.
We had planned on starting the project in February.
Yeah.
Legal negotiations, trying to pick out the right everything.
Yeah.
And, I can tell you it's going to be a pizza restaurant, pizza and pasta.
Ooh, got the tea.
Oh,
Favorite
it's
food.
so fun.
It's going to be a ton of fun.
If Tommy and I can figure out our difference in vision for design, but we've needed this time.
Yeah.
We're happy about this time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure happy to have the summer off with the kids.
Yes.
And
So a pizza concept. Okay.
Love that.
I would say kind of New Haven style pizza, that Neapolitan styled. The vision would be something like Moochie's or Snack Bar, wood-fired appetizers, wood-fired pizzas,
Jukebox.
Yeah. Will there be a
loud music.
Okay.
we know you.
Relish tray.
We'll have some pickled stuff.
I'll show you.
The crossover. There's the crossover.
There's a crossover.
Are we married?
I found a $8,700 cotton candy, automatic cotton candy machine on the Instagram the other day.
On the interwebs.
And I was like, ooh, I got to have that. I want it in the corner as like a vending machine. You put your money in and the arm comes down. It's robotic. And you pick your flavor and the stick comes down on a robotic arm and it's inside a glass case and you're watching it and it spins whatever flavor you want. And then it takes it out a hole on the side and pushes out and you just grab it.
It puts it in your
Wow.
mouth.
Puts it in.
I was
your-
like-
Whoa.
Oh my
Yeah, we do have some design differences.
God. Yeah, he's like Northeast Dive Bar and I'm just like Circus Wonderland.
We'll meet somewhere in the middle.
Like we always do. We'll figure it out.
We do have. But Aaron is helping us work on that project as well, so it
Nice.
should be really cool. Well, hopefully, ideally it would be early next year.
Okay.
At this point,
Early spring,
yeah,
late winter.
I'm hoping late winter,
Okay.
January-ish, which is normally the dog days of
Right.
restaurant.
That's right around the time that we like need something fun to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great for a business plan because if you can be the hot new spot in what traditionally is a poor time of year for restaurants, we come out of the gates doing that, and then we're in patio season.
Yeah. Well, thanks you guys for all that. This has been so much fun. And if you haven't been to Mr. Paul's
Get over here.
Supper Club, you better get over here.
Short rib stroganoff, baby.
Yeah, that stroganoff though. Hey, quick question before we get off.
Yeah.
I've got a rental property I'm listing this fall.
Yep.
Should I wait until after Labor Day is question one? And then question two, do I stage it? Do I clean everything out? What do we do with pre-inspection? Is that something? Give me all your advice in 2 minutes.
All right, we got 2 minutes here.
I would say don't wait until the fall. I think now is a better time to sell than then. That's just and pre-inspection. I think always a great idea because I think that you can find the issues before someone else does. You can correct them, fix them before someone can use it against you. And at the very least, you can disclose it on the front end so it can't come back to bite you. But you do, the downside to that is you do have to put everything out there. Anything that gets found is now has to be put out there, disclosed, and shown to everybody. I mean, and you can fix it. You can say this was a problem and I fixed it. But that could be a potential downside.
And especially with like multiples too, when you're getting multiple offers, it's like at that point, then you have the inspection there for them to, they're not doing a 5-day inspection. You don't have to wait for that.
So you're missing out on buyers.
Yeah, exactly. So you can be like, this is everything. Give us your best offer. Knowing,
Staging. That's her. You answer that part.
well, I mean, staging in general, do come into houses and I'll look and be like, oh my gosh, this just happened with our sale in Morningside. We just closed last week, or not closed, it's closing in a couple of weeks, but we just sold. And so with them, she was such an amazing like designer and everything. We just put some finishing touches like I helped her with, and then she was ready to go. And it was great. But then you have other people where it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it a hoarding situation over there?
No.
What are we working with here?
I've got a tenant at it right now that I'm moving him out.
God.
It's furnished at this point,
Yeah.
but he's asked me to purchase all my furniture. So I said, yeah, you can take it all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we then will refurnish it or lease something to stay or it is a rental property. I mean, it's a nice place, but
Yeah. It's kind of that thing of even just like if there's nothing in it, staging it makes such a huge difference.
I've never heard anyone say, I wish I wouldn't have staged this.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
That was a mistake.
right. Yeah. You can never go wrong staging it. You will get more money if it's staged correctly. Yeah. But we have companies that do that. Like,
Right.
I do a lot of it too, but it's more like there's companies that we have that just come in and do it for you.
Make it easy. That's what we need right now.
That's what I'm saying.
With this
Right.
place.
Like you don't have to go through and be heading to Target. You just basically it's there, and then you have someone, you pay them that amount, they bring it, they set it up, they leave, and they come and get it. They come and get it.
sectional in the corner, cotton candy, robotic cotton candy machine.
I love it. I love it. It sounds like you.
And then we can write it
I
out.
get confused between is this our home or is this our business?
Yeah, right.
Really, there's a blurred line in these
You
days.
can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
That feels good.
And on this
Nice.
So good night. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being here, you guys. It's always so much fun, and we'll see you around the hood.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you later tonight.
See you in an hour.